Welcome back. Today, we explore some of the rarest and most valuable coins in the world. Today, we're diving into the world of Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coins that could potentially make you rich. Our first coin in this video, the 1963 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin, part of the ongoing Lincoln Memorial series, is another coin that carries great significance in American numismatic history. While it may not be as immediately eye-catching as some of the rarer coins from earlier in the 20th century, the 1963 penny is notable for its large date design and its association with the post-World War II era in the US. The year 1963 was a time of significant political and social change, with the civil rights movement gaining momentum and John F. Kennedy in the White House. Although the coin itself is not especially rare, certain variants, particularly those in fine condition, have become increasingly valuable in the modern market. Collectors take a keen interest in this particular version due to the quality of the strike and the large date style, which adds to its desirability. The 1963 penny, like other coins in the Lincoln Memorial series, features the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, along with the words "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the year of issue. On the reverse, we see the Lincoln Memorial surrounded by the inscriptions United States of America and E Pluribus Unum. The design by Frank Gasparro is elegant and simple, yet it carries significant historical weight. The large date feature of this coin is especially important. In 1963, the US Mint began experimenting with different font sizes for the date, and the large date version has become a favorite among collectors for its distinctiveness. While the 1963 penny is not known for major minting errors like the 1974 penny with an S mint mark, there are still subtle variations that contribute to its value. The large is one such variation, and collectors are always on the lookout for these finer details when evaluating coins for their collections. The D mint mark indicates that this particular coin was struck at the Denver Mint, which is responsible for a significant portion of the nation's coinage. The value of the 1963 Lincoln penny, especially in fine condition, is also bolstered by its historical significance. The coin was struck at a time when the US economy was stabilizing after the post-war boom, and it reflects the societal changes of the early 1960s. For collectors, owning a piece of that history adds both monetary and emotional value. In today's market, a 1963 large date penny with a D mint mark in fine condition can command anywhere from $75,000, depending on the exact condition and the buyer's interest. While it may not be as high in value as the more infamous rarities of US coinage, the 1963 penny still holds a steady market presence and is a favorite among collectors who are seeking a classic, accessible piece of American history. The 1963 Abraham Lincoln penny with a large date and D mint mark remains a popular choice for collectors, especially those interested in the Lincoln Memorial series. While not as rare as other era coins, its value in fine condition has steadily appreciated, making it a smart choice for any collection. Next up, the 1979 Lincoln penny may seem like a regular piece of currency at first glance, but it holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. As part of the iconic Lincoln cent series, this penny is distinguished not only by its date but also by the large date variety, which makes it more sought after. The Lincoln penny, first minted in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, has been a central piece of American numismatics. The year 1979 marked the 70th anniversary of the coin's introduction and was part of the regular issue of the Lincoln cent. But the 1979 penny stands out due to the large date variation that some collectors believe was created unintentionally. There was a slight shift in the minting process, and the result was a noticeable variation in the size of the date. Minted during the presidency of Jimmy Carter, this penny was struck in copper-plated zinc, which remained the standard for the Lincoln penny design until 1982. In 1979, the US Mint produced both small and large date varieties. The large date version was primarily made at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use a mint mark at that time, which only adds to its intrigue. While millions of 1979 pennies were minted, only a relatively small number have survived in fine condition, making it a valuable coin for those in the know. Mintages from the Philadelphia Mint, as with other coins that lacked a mint mark in this era, are commonly found in circulation. However, it is the fine condition of a 1979 large date without a mint mark that draws the attention of collectors. Depending on the exact condition and the presence of any additional characteristics, like a higher grade or certain errors, the coin could fetch anywhere from $10,000s or even more at auction. Higher grade examples can reach thousands of dollars, especially if there are unique qualities such as an uncirculated specimen with the right patina. The 1979 Lincoln penny features the timeless design of Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner. On the reverse, the design by Frank Gasparo displays the Union shield, which has been part of the coin since 1959. The features of the 1979 penny are well defined, but it's the size of the numbers in the date that sets the large date variety apart. The numerals are more widely spaced and appear larger, which is a result of a slight error in the minting process, though the US Mint did not officially recognize this as an error. One of the most fascinating things about the 1979 large date penny is the possibility of errors that have occurred throughout the minting process. Some 1979 pennies may have doubling on the date, with the digits appearing to have been struck more than. This can increase the value of the coin significantly, as doubled die coins are much rarer. Additionally, there are cases where die breaks and other variations are seen, making each coin potentially unique. Collectors are particularly interested in the 1979 large date Lincoln penny because of its subtle but distinct differences from the small date version. The rarity of high-grade examples, especially those in fine or better condition, is another driving factor. Additionally, the interest in errors, such as the double die and other minting mistakes, makes this coin a highly sought-after item in the numismatic community. Next up, the 1961 Lincoln penny is another coin that might not stand out to the casual observer but holds significant value in the world of collectors. The 1961 Lincoln cent is part of a long line of coins that bear the likeness of Abraham Lincoln, and the design has become one of the most iconic in American coinage. In 1961, the US Mint produced pennies featuring the classic Abraham Lincoln design created by Victor David Brenner. This particular coin was struck during the presidency of John F. Kennedy, and it marked a period of transition in US history, both politically and economically. The minting of pennies in the early 1960s followed the standard design, with the Liberty inscription, the year of issue, and the motto "In God We Trust" on the obverse. The 1961 penny is significant because it marks one of the years during which the US Mint switched to using the D Mint mark at the Denver Mint. This mint mark is found on the reverse side of the coin under the word 1, indicating that the penny was struck at the Denver Mint. While millions of 1961 pennies were minted, the large date variety with the D Mint mark is particularly desirable. The 1961 penny's mintage is estimated at over 1 billion coins, but those in fine condition or higher grades are considered more valuable. A coin in fine condition can range in value from $10,000 to $59,000, depending on the demand and the exact condition of the piece. Higher grade examples, such as those rated as MS65 or better, can fetch several $100s. The 1961 Lincoln penny, like other pennies in the series, features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. His profile is finely detailed, showcasing the sharp lines of his face, beard, and hair. The reverse features the iconic wheat stalks, which were designed by Frank Gasparo. The 1961 penny has a clear and crisp design with noticeable features. The D Mint mark, located near the bottom of the reverse, is essential to distinguishing this particular coin from its counterparts. Although the 1961 penny is not known for any major errors, there have been instances of minor variations such as double dies or die cracks, which can increase its collector appeal. Additionally, some 1961 pennies may have been struck with imperfections, adding to their rarity and value. Collectors are particularly attracted to the 1961 Lincoln penny due to its historical significance and the relatively large number of surviving examples in good condition. The large date with the D mint mark variety holds particular appeal because of its rarity compared to the standard issue. Additionally, high-grade examples or those with error characteristics can fetch premium prices at auction, making the 1961 penny a desirable addition to any collection. Next up, the 1978 Abraham Lincoln penny is a part of the long-running series of Lincoln cents, which have been in circulation since 1909. Created to honor Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, the Lincoln penny was designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. Over time, the design of the coin has undergone slight variations, but the central motif of Lincoln's portrait has remained a constant symbol of American history and national pride. The 1978 penny, minted without a mint mark, was part of a regular production year for the coin. It was issued in large quantities, along with other Lincoln cents, and circulated widely across the United States. Like most pennies, the 1978 Lincoln cents were made primarily of copper, a metal that, while relatively common, still plays a key role in the minting process for U.S. currency. The total mintage of the 1978 Lincoln penny reached over 4.4 billion coins, which makes it one of the most abundant pennies in circulation. The vast majority of these coins were used in daily transactions, so finding one in a high-quality state is challenging, especially when it has been in circulation for decades. The typical condition of a 1978 penny that's been in circulation, especially in a dirty condition, is far from pristine. However, even in its dirty, worn-out state, the coin still holds significant value in the collector market. When it comes to dirty, bad-condition coins, collectors often place more value on coins that have unique characteristics, such as errors or those that are rare despite their worn condition. A 1978 Lincoln penny without a mint mark, especially one in poor condition, is not as rare as others from different years. However, collector demand and the current market trends can still drive prices higher depending on the specific circumstances of the coin. Typically, a 1978 penny in dirty, bad condition would be valued somewhere around $20,000, though auctions can sometimes fetch more for particularly rare examples, or if it shows signs of an interesting mistake or error. The actual value, of course, can fluctuate depending on factors such as current demand, interest in the series, and other elements that may add to its unique. The 1978 penny features the same iconic design that has been seen on Lincoln cents for decades. On the obverse front side of the coin, we see a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, based on a famous photograph of the president. The reverse side of the coin displays the Lincoln Memorial, which has been the design for most Lincoln pennies since 1959. Even in bad, dirty condition, these design features are still visible. However, it's important to note that certain errors can make a coin more valuable, even if it's worn. For example, if the coin has any die cracks, misstrikes, or unusual wear patterns, it could attract more attention from collectors and increase its value significantly. While 1978 Lincoln pennies without a mint mark aren't especially rare, they do have a steady collector base due to the continued popularity of the Lincoln cent series. Collectors who focus on acquiring as many different varieties of the series as possible often seek out pennies from every year of issue, including 1978. Additionally, there's a niche market for coins that have unique characteristics or stories. If the coin in question has a particular history, unique wear pattern, or an interesting provenance, collectors might find it more desirable even in a. Next up, the 1962 Lincoln cent is a significant coin in the history of U.S. currency, as it falls during a period of economic change and evolution for the United States. The early 1960s marked a time when the U.S. economy was transitioning with significant growth in the post-World War II era. The 1962 penny was minted during the Kennedy administration, and it holds a special place in American history as part of the early 1960s coinage, a decade that witnessed changes in both coin production and design. The 1962 Lincoln penny features the familiar portrait of President Lincoln, with the large date style for the year. It was produced in both Philadelphia, with no mint mark and Denver with the D mint mark for collectors. The version with the D mint mark is often more desirable due to its relative rarity in comparison to its Philadelphia counterparts. In total, over 3 billion 1962 Lincoln pennies were produced. However, only a portion of these were minted in Denver with the D mint mark, making them somewhat rarer and more sought after than those without any mint mark. Even in dirty condition, the 1962 D penny can hold value, especially among collectors who seek out coins with mint marks or those from particular years. For a 1962 penny in dirty condition, the market value is generally in the range of $93,000. This value is a general estimate and can fluctuate depending on the specific condition and the circumstances surrounding its sale. In terms of value trends, the 1962 D Lincoln penny has shown steady interest in the collector market. While it is not as high value as some of the rarer dates or more pristine specimens, the 1962 D has maintained its appeal due to its historical context and significance in the larger series of Lincoln pennies. The 1962 Lincoln penny is known for its large date design. The large date format is a subtle design difference compared to earlier years, with the numerals in the year appearing larger than previous designs. This feature makes the 1962 penny easily identifiable for collectors looking for specific types of Lincoln cents. In terms of errors, the 1962 Lincoln penny is also known for its occasional die cracks, off-center strikes, and other subtle mistakes that can significantly increase its value in the market. These errors are relatively uncommon but do occur, and when they do, they attract the attention of specialized collectors. The 1962 D penny holds a strong interest among Lincoln cent collectors, especially those who focus on acquiring specific mint marks or date varieties. As with many coins, collectors also find appeal in coins that have historical significance or unique characteristics, such as distinctive wear or errors. Even a dirty 1962 penny can find a home in a collection, especially if the coin has an interesting backstory or a particular error that enhances its appeal. The 1962 D penny continues to be a popular target for collectors, particularly those focusing on mint mark variations and small details in coinage history. Next up, the 1970 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin, known for its distinctive close am error, has become one of the most recognized and highly coveted pennies among collectors. The coin was minted during a period of transition for the US Mint, where the production of pennies shifted from copper to the more modern copper-plated zinc composition in later years. However, it's the close am variety, specifically from the 1970 coin, that collectors have keenly focused on. The close am error refers to the design flaw where the letters A and M in America on the reverse of the coin appear unusually close together. This occurred during the minting process when the dies used for producing these pennies were misaligned. While most coins produced in 1970 feature a noticeable space between the A and M in America, the close am version stands as an anomaly. Such errors make the coin highly desirable in the numismatic world. The 1970 close am penny is a rare find. While there is no exact count of how many were minted with this error, the total number is believed to be quite low, making it even more desirable for collectors. Given that it's a specific and unintentional error, only a limited number of these pennies were ever released into circulation, and many of them likely ended up in circulation for only a short time before being spent. In terms of market value, a 1970 Abraham Lincoln penny with the close am error in fine condition can fetch significant amounts in today's auction market. The value of this coin typically ranges from $300,500 depending on the precise grade of the coin and the level of demand at the time of the auction. Higher grade specimens with minimal wear can even fetch more, especially if they are graded by professional organizations like the Professional Coin Grading Service or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. Collectors show immense interest in this coin due to its rarity, historical significance, and the fact that it represents an error that collectors appreciate for its uniqueness. The close am error is considered a transitional piece in US coinage history, making it not only a valuable collector's item, but also a key coin in understanding the evolution of US minting practices. The design of the 1970 Lincoln penny, which was designed by Victor David Brenner, features the famous portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. The reverse features the Lincoln Memorial, another signature element of the penny. The closum error occurs specifically on the reverse of the coin, where the letters A and M in America are closer together than they should be. This design flaw arose from a misalignment during the minting process, and while it is considered an error, it adds to the uniqueness of the coin. Collectors love these small details as they signify a piece of history that was unintentionally created. Collectors of error coins are particularly drawn to the 1970 closum penny because of its scarcity and the unusual nature of the error. The closum error has become one of the most desirable varieties among Lincoln cent collectors. This coin is often found in specialized collections and has led to the formation of an entire niche within the coin collecting community devoted to minting errors. The 1970 closum penny, therefore, represents not just a rare coin, but also a fascinating error that many collectors are eager to. Next up, the 1972 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin, particularly the large date version, has gained significant interest in the world of numismatics. The large date refers to a slight modification made to the size of the digits in the year 1972 on the. This change made the numbers appear larger compared to previous years, leading to a distinction between the 1972 large date and its counterpart, the small date version. Collectors often focus on the minute differences between these two varieties, as such subtle changes add to the intrigue of US coinage. The coin features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, while the reverse showcases the Lincoln Memorial. What sets the 1972 large date coin apart, especially the ones in dirty red color and dirty condition, is the visible wear and discoloration from years of circulation. Despite its commonality in terms of mintage, over 4 billion 1972 pennies were struck by the US. Mint, the large date variety, has a unique following among collectors. The 1972 large date with a D mint mark in a dirty red color, especially when in dirty condition, can still be valuable, though its value is generally lower than a well-preserved example. In the current auction market, a 1972 large date penny in dirty red color and dirty condition is typically valued at around $46,000, depending on the extent of the wear and the level of demand at the time. Even though the coin is in a less than ideal condition, collectors interested in acquiring every possible version of the 1972 penny might still be willing to pay for this specific variety, especially if it is a D mint mark example. The design of the 1972 Lincoln penny features Brenner's famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. The reverse displays the Lincoln Memorial, another iconic feature of the penny. The most significant characteristic of the large date version is, of course, the larger digits of the year 1972, which are noticeably different from the small date version. Collectors often debate the subtle differences between the two, which makes this coin particularly interesting. In terms of condition, the dirty red color and wear on the coin give it a vintage appearance, which some collectors find charming. While the condition may not be ideal for investment-grade collectors, these coins can still hold appeal for those looking to complete their collections. The 1972 large date penny holds a place of interest among collectors who focus on varieties and subtle differences in US coin designs. While a dirty or worn coin may not command the same high value as a pristine version, it still holds significance as part of a complete collection of Lincoln pennies. Collectors who are looking to acquire every variety and coin in the Lincoln cent series may find this 1972 large date penny to be an essential piece of their collection. Next up, the 1967 Abraham Lincoln penny, specifically the large date variety, represents an interesting chapter in the history of US coinage. While the majority of pennies from this era were struck with a small date, the large date variety, though not particularly rare in terms of mintage, has caught the attention of coin collectors due to its subtle differences in design and the way it stands out in today's market. The 1967 Lincoln penny features a traditional design that has become iconic, over the decades. On the obverse, we see a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. This image has remained unchanged on the Lincoln cent for more than a century. The reverse side features the phrase E pluribus unum along with the inscription 1 cent encircled by a pair of wheat stalks, a design that was used on the penny from 1909 until 1958. However, what makes the 1967 penny unique, especially the large date variety, is the size of the numbers. The 1967 date is slightly larger and more distinct, making it stand out against its smaller date counterpart. This variant, while not as rare as some other coin varieties, is still highly valued by collectors who appreciate the historical significance and the subtle design difference. Despite its relatively high mintage, the 1967 large-date Lincoln penny in dirty condition is valuable due to the rarity of coins in this state. The mintage for the 1967 penny was over 3 billion coins, but most of these were circulated widely, which means only a small fraction of these coins remain in pristine or collectible condition. Dirty coins, like the one we are discussing, usually depreciate in value. However, there are still collectors who find interest in these more worn examples for their historical value. The market value for a 1967 large-date penny in dirty condition fluctuates. On average, you can expect it to sell for around $82,000, depending on the severity of the wear and the condition of the coin overall. However, if you can find one in a slightly better state, especially with some unique error features or provenance, the price could rise significantly, potentially reaching $100,000 at auctions. It's important to note that while the dirt might lower the coin's grade, collectors may still see it as an interesting find, especially if it has other unusual characteristics. In 1967, the United States was in the midst of a period of political and cultural upheaval. This was the height of the Vietnam War, and American society was dealing with the civil rights movement, the space race, and the changing political landscape. The Lincoln cent in circulation since 1909 continued to be a staple of American coinage. There are some notable errors associated with the 1967 Lincoln penny, although the large date itself is not technically an error. However, certain misstrikes, such as off-center or doubled die varieties, can significantly increase the value of these coins. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins that are in less than perfect condition but have unique flaws or errors, which can increase their market value. Collectors of Lincoln cents often seek out these varieties because they represent an important part of the history of US currency and the legacy of Abraham Lincoln himself. Even dirty coins with the right historical context can be highly sought after. Coin in this video, the 1974 Abraham Lincoln 1 penny is often overlooked by casual collectors. But when we talk about the S mint mark error version, we enter the world of high-value and rare coins. The 1974 penny, which was part of the regular series of Lincoln Memorial pennies, was produced during a time when the US was experiencing significant changes. The United States was coming off the tail end of the 1960s, a decade known for its social and political upheaval, and entering a new era where monetary policy was being adjusted to cope with inflation. The Abraham Lincoln penny itself, first introduced in 1909, has undergone several changes in its design over the years. The 1974 penny, however, still featured the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design that had been in place since 1959. But in 1974, something unusual happened, an error that would go on to become highly sought after by collectors. The design of the 1974 penny is relatively straightforward compared to other US coins of its era. On the obverse, we see the bust of Abraham Lincoln with his iconic beard and top hat. The inscription "In God We Trust" is visible, along with liberty and the year of minting, 1974. The reverse features the Lincoln Memorial with the words "E pluribus unum, United States of America," and 1 cent surrounding the image. The key feature of this coin is the mint mark, which would typically be a D for the Denver Mint, an S for the San Francisco Mint, or no mint mark at all for coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint. However, The 1974 penny with mint mark error stands out as one of the most intriguing anomalies in the history of US coinage. The error in question involves the use of the S mint mark on the 1974 penny. The S mint mark typically denotes coins produced at the San Francisco Mint, known for minting proof coins. However, it was mistakenly used on regular circulation pennies, which were meant to have either a D or no mint mark at all. The mistake was never officially acknowledged, but this error has sparked a great deal of interest among collectors. Additionally, this coin is often found in color-changed bad condition, which further complicates its value. The coin might have been exposed to elements that caused its color to shift or degrade, making it less visually appealing, but still highly valuable. The rarity of these coins, along with their historical significance, makes them one of the most coveted among error coin collectors. The value of the 1974 Lincoln penny with an S mint mark error in bad condition varies depending on the severity of the damage and color change. While this coin might not fetch as much as one in pristine condition, it still commands a significant premium compared to standard 1974 pennies. In today's auction market, this coin can sell for anywhere between $100,000 with higher values depending on the specific condition and authenticity of the error. The 1974 Abraham Lincoln penny with an S mint mark error is a prime example of how small mistakes in minting can lead to huge value in the world of coin collecting. Whether you're an experienced collector or just starting, this is a coin worth keeping an eye on. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and leave your comments below. And as always, keep hunting for those rare treasures